Jurassic Park is a film that undeniably made a gigantic impact on how films are made. The movie was a trailblazer and pioneer in various different filmmaking techniques that to this very day are still in use and utilized in almost every major blockbuster to get a theatrical release. I'm of course referring to the groundbreaking computer-generated imagery, or CGI for short, that was used to bring the dinosaurs to life on film. While CGI was present in movies before Jurassic Park, none of the work prior to the movie was able to bring something to life that looked tangibly real. Nothing looked like it could exist in reality. Various abstractions and glossy globs were used to form things that never existed. Now, even though the special effects of movies like Terminator 2 and The Abyss were extremely well done and used to bring to life liquid cyborgs and water-based alien entities, none of these earlier movies were able to make a living animal feel realistic and be believable. The one movie to single-handedly do that in spades was the original Jurassic Park. The movie brought dinosaurs to life in ways never thought imaginable before, with scientifically accurate representations of the animals that were leaps and bounds better than the earlier depictions the animals had in cinema. But you already know all of that. But did you know that originally Jurassic Park was going to utilize stop motion to bring the dinosaurs to life? The footage you're seeing was early animatic work done by industry veteran Phil Tippett, who created a film in 1984 called Prehistoric Beast. I actually used to have it on videotape as a kid. Now, Tippett's work in bringing dinosaurs to life was done with the usage of go motion, which is a far more advanced form of the normal special effect technique known as stop motion. This technique allowed usage of motion blur, which is far more realistic to what we as humans visibly see. When stop motion was usually used, it had a clear and sharp image of visibility in a moving object that did not incorporate any form of motion blur, and as such didn't look as convincing. Now, while Phil Tippett's incredible work with go motion was very commendable and groundbreaking on its own accord, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park weren't looking as convincing as Spielberg wanted them to. Of course, he would meet with Dennis Muren of ILM, and the rest is cinematic history, with Jurassic Park being still to this day the most revolutionary movie in film history. While it's true that Jurassic Park couldn't exist without the breakthroughs of movies like Star Wars or King Kong, it's also true that nothing has been able to dethrone Jurassic Park of its huge leap in believability of CGI. Now, two animatics were created to bring the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park to life via go motion, one of which is actually almost shot for shot identical to what the final film became. The raptors in the kitchen scene plays out just as it does in the movie, with the exception of a few differing stylistic choices made either from the camera's angle or how the velociraptors behaved. This early version of Jurassic Park depicted the raptors as having flicking tongues like snakes or monitor lizards, which was almost directly contradictory to Alan Grant's insistence that the animals were more closely related to modern-day birds than with reptiles. Now, the other animatic created as test footage showcased the Tyrannosaur breakout scene where the kid's Ford Explorer is destroyed. This footage has a few shots not present in the final film, such as the inclusion of the Tyrannosaurus looking down over the wall and roaring triumphantly down at the tree before turning around and slapping its tail against what's left of the destroyed electrical fence. The overall designs of the dinosaurs seems to be mostly left intact for the movie, but I find it fascinating to think about in the context of how cinematic history ended up playing out. Can you imagine a world where Jurassic Park didn't revolutionize the movie industry? This version of the film feels like something that would have resulted if Tim Burton were given the film rights to produce an adaptation of Crichton's novel, which, believe it or not, almost happened after the book was published. Sort of. But that's a totally different topic. Now, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this information, because Jurassic Park is an extremely well-renowned film in the special effects industry, and I want to know what you think Jurassic Park would have become if it had stuck to old ways in bringing its dinosaurs to life, and if it would have been as effective as it was in the 90s and still to this very day. How different would the final film be? If you feel like I've deserved it, I would greatly appreciate a like, and if you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing so that you can see me again. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video, guys, and as always, take it easy.